So Sean Combs is having a no good, very bad, pretty terrible start to the holiday season. He has been hit with two more two more lawsuits since the Cassie situation, and it seems like all of these skeletons are coming a tumbling down. Okay, so the second lady is accusing him of revenge porn that supposedly happened back in 1991. Let's get into this one, and then we'll go into lawsuit number three. 5 days after Diddy and Cassie reached an agreement in the singer's lawsuit against Combs, in which she accused him of rape, sex trafficking, and abuse, the rapper and producer is subject of another lawsuit. The new suit filed yesterday on Thanksgiving, in the Supreme Court of the state of New York accuses Combs of drugging and sexually assaulting a former Syracuse University college student in 1991 and filming the alleged incident. The suit alleges that Combs then showed the video to others in an act described as revenge porn. Now, back in the 90s, there was another person who was out here filming things who's now sitting in jail, and there was a whole expose surviving R. Smelly. I wonder if we are going to get Surviving Diddy. I wonder if we're going to get that because clearly something needs to be documented and put on to Netflix. The lawsuit states that Combs took the woman to dinner in a Harlem restaurant in January 1991, drove her to the recording studio where she claims she was unable to get out the vehicle because she had been intentionally drugged, resulting in her being in a state where she was unable to independently stand or walk. Then, allegedly, he took the accuser to where he was staying and assaulted her. According to the lawsuit, Combs, known as P. Diddy, also filmed the act in which a friend of the accuser reportedly viewed. Days later, the suit reads a male friend revealed to her he had viewed the Smix tape along with other men. Through a rep, Diddy denied the allegation in a statement to TMZ. This last minute lawsuit is an example of how a well intentioned law can be turned on its head. The rep said the 32-year-old story is made up and not credible. Mr. Combs never assaulted her, and she implicates companies that did not exist. This is purely a money grab and nothing more. All right, so number three, third accuser sues Sean Combs for SA. Jane Doe plaintiff alleges Sean Combs and singer-songwriter Aaron Hall took turns raping her and a friend after an uptown event in the early 90s. Diddy has been hit with a third lawsuit alleging SA under the Adult Survivors Act that expired after Thanksgiving. The new complaint from an anonymous accuser alleges Combs and the singer-songwriter Aaron Hall took turns raping the plaintiff and her friend in 1990 or 91, and that Diddy turned violent during a rage days later. In the filing obtained by Rolling Stone, Jane Doe alleges she and her friend met Diddy and Hall at an event hosted by MCA Records, the distributor of Uptown Records, at the company's office in New York. Combs and Hall were very flirtatious and handsy with Jane Doe and her friend, offering them drinks throughout the night. As the event was winding down, Combs and Hall allegedly invited the women back to Hall's apartment for an after party. While at Hall's apartment, Jane Doe was offered more drinks and was coerced into having sex with Combs. After Combs finished doing his business, Jane Doe laid in bed, shocked and traumatized. As she was in the process of getting dressed, Hall barged in the room, pinned her down, and forced Jane Doe to have sex with him. The complaint says Jane Doe quickly got dressed and fled from Hall's residence after the alleged rape. It alleges that she later spoke to her friend and learned the other woman had been forced to have sex with Combs and Hall in another room. Upon information and belief, when Combs finished with Jane Doe, he and Hall switched, the paperwork states. A couple of days later, allegedly, Combs visited the home where Jane Doe and her friend were staying and turned violent. He was irate and began assaulting and choking Jane Doe to the point that she passed out. What we are hearing about this dude, there needs to definitely be some kind of documentary on him. Alongside Hall and Combs, the suit names MCA Music Entertainment, Geffen Records as defendants. Reps for Hall and Combs did not immediately return requests for comment on Friday. The lawsuit filed in New York County Supreme Court alleges Jane Doe informed her close friends and family about what had occurred. It claims she sought medical treatment to heal from trauma visited upon her by Combs and Hall. So hopefully, this woman has some paperwork that can be found to corroborate her claims. The new filing marks the third lawsuit filed against Combs and the expiration of the Adult Survivors Act. So we shall see what new lawsuits come to light, because I'm sure that Rolling Stone, TMZ, and all of these other outlets are all over it.